Shelby, thanks for joining me. We saw these numbers came out. I know they got your attention. What was your reaction?
Well, the number's a little concerning, especially when Saskatchewan is the highlight of the country right now with drowning statistics. But I had seen those numbers before this weekend. So,
when you say the Saskatchewan's kind of in a bad spot, what does that say about what's happening here?
well, honestly, I'm not too surprised because the biggest factor we have is submerged vehicles. So when people are traveling, that's actually how the biggest reason people are drowning right now in our province, which makes sense because we all own a vehicle, we're all traveling, we have our grid system, and we don't have transit in the rural areas. So that is actually not a surprise to me.
So that would be the trend then, that would be differentiate us from other provinces.
Absolutely, yeah.
What can we do to prevent those deaths in cars, as you say, which is kind of leading the way?
Well, that's a great question. We are actually presently working on that right now. I think people need to be aware of their surroundings when they're traveling. I know now that I work in this office, I find myself slowing down when I'm traveling near water, especially when there's water on both sides of me. I'm also traveling with a seatbelt cutter and a window punch now, just because I don't want that to happen to me as well. It can happen to any of us.
Is that something that people should have in their cars? That I know I don't have one in my car. I know most people probably don't have those items.
Right. Well, I know I didn't used to, and now I'm telling everyone to put one in and put it where you can grab it really easy. I'm also traveling with a life jacket in my car so I can rescue somebody else, and rope. So my focus has changed when I have a first aid kit, which everyone I think has, but now I have rescue equipment too.
What are some of the other trends that you see when you look at drowning deaths in the province?
Well, we're still continuing to see people not wearing PFDs when they're supposed to be wearing one. In a boating-related incident, they aren't. Maybe 80% of the time, they aren't wearing one. So, we do know that PFDs and life jackets will save lives. It's not a guarantee, but they definitely will help if you are in that circumstance.
And is it men and women? I know when we talk about cars, people are driving, but there could be other people in the car. Is there a trend that way as far as if it's men more likely to drown, women, kids?
Well, not in the vehicle-related ones, but 8 out of 10 times it's a man that's going to drown more than a woman.
When you see these stats and the numbers are going down across the country, but we're going up, is that just sort of an anomaly from year to year, or is it something like we've had an abnormal amount of those drowning deaths in cars, as you mentioned?
Well, I think we probably are an anomaly just because of the way our road system does work. And we've had to explain that to our colleagues across the country. But we are seeing an increase in drownings right across the country in recreational drownings, and we're seeing that in preliminary stats that we're getting in this summer even.
What are some good habits for people? You mentioned the personal flotation devices and recreation, being in a pool. It's still beautiful weather, summertime. What are some tips that people can have to keep themselves safe in the summer?
Well, first of all, if you can swim in a life-guarded pool, that is the best place to be. They are trained to watch out for you and to react when something does go wrong. Plus, just keeping that PFD on, keeping the life jacket on, and alcohol is a big factor. So we want you to refrain from consuming that alcohol until you're finished your activity, and then do what you want. but wait until after that.
Shelby, thanks for joining me.
Thank you.